Hi, Janelle here with Sheep Hill Herbs. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a short little video. I wanted to show you how to transplant new growth plants from a hyssop bush into a pot. So I have someone on YouTube here who follows the channel. She asked if I could send her some new little baby hyssop plants, and I went out to the garden today and pulled out some little shoots from the root base, which is about this thick around. I planted the hyssop last year, which it was probably about this thick. It grows pretty fast. And so when I pulled them out, a couple did not have root pieces attached, but I did get enough, about 5 plants that had some little root hairs. And you want that. You want it to have root hairs. And I'm going to show you how to get or to plant new cuttings or root pieces of hyssop with root. And this applies to whether it's peppermint or spearmint or catnip or pretty much any herb, oregano, thyme. You can pull out new growth, get the little roots and put them in a pot or another spot on your property, and pretty much herbs go like wildfire and spread. So I want to show her how to do this. Shout out to Crown Marie. Thank you so much for asking for plants, and let's get started. So please do all the things that you do when you go to a channel. Subscribe, hit the bell button, like, comment, and hang around to the end where you can see my book commercial. So here are the hyssop branches that I pulled out. This green part is the new growth. The stem here is the old growth. And the old growth has the root. Let me try to find the root system here. Trying to focus. There we go. See those little hairs? There's root. There's, I'll try to focus. There's some more roots. And you don't need that many roots, a few root hairs right there, and you can plant a new bush. But you want to trim back the green because this little root is supplying this entire stem. So I'm going to trim all these back and leave only a few inches of green of the new growth so that this little root does not have to work so hard to get itself started in a new pot. As you can see, there is a lot less greenery here. I cut these different stems, I guess at the most maybe 8 inches, 6 to 8 inches of greenery of new growth. And then, like I said, there's the root on the end. So here's one that I can plant. Here's one. Some of them kind of grew out from the middle of the root, not the root, the branch, like stem, the base stem, like a trunk of a tree, and so they kind of grew sideways. So when you plant these, you kind of can put them in the ground sideways like this. Just cover, you have to cover the root with dirt. This one is sideways too, and you just kind of plant it like this and it'll bush out from all these other stems. And then we have this one. So all of these can be transplanted into a pot with soil, into something like this. Now that's basil, Tulsi basil growing. I'm going to go outside and show you how to plant in a pot by itself. Since I'm mailing these branches, I wrapped the roots in a wet paper towel and I put it in a Ziploc bag, sealed the bag, but I have a few slits. Just you want to have a little bit of air getting into the bag, but the moisture should keep the roots intact. And I'm going to mail this priority and hope that the mail system is working on time. And then these plants have to be planted right away into some fresh soil. All right, here I am up in my garden. I have a full pot. This pot is about 10 inches high, probably 10 inches across, and I filled the dirt. You don't have to go all the way to the tippy top. I have about 2 inches where I didn't go to the top, and the reason being, you don't want it too low, but you don't have to, I guess, waste dirt. The depth of dirt will help the root system grow down. But this is ready, so I'm gonna just dig a little hole. So you're taking your let's say you're transplanting hyssop. This, see those little hairs here? This is a little piece that I pulled off. Actually, this piece is pretty good size. And I'm just digging a hole of 2.5 inches deep. You want it deep enough to cover the roots, and you just cover them up, real simple. And you pat around to secure it in place. And it's in the middle of the pot. And then all I have to do is water this. Now, when you plant something, the plant goes into what's called stress. So it'll be stressed out. You don't want to put it in the full sun, and you don't want to water the leaves and get water on them and set it in the full sun. So maybe part sun while it gets rooted in. It takes a couple days till the roots start growing, and then the plant will look strong and healthy. So don't panic if the leaves droop. Some of them might even die, and you can trim those, but as long as the root is alive and the lower pieces are alive, this plant will grow. And last night I have a little bit of water. I probably would water more, but this soil is already wet because my pile of soil is wet. This is my pile of soil I'm working with. It rained really well last night, so I'm just going to add more water, and I might even water this one more time today. What you want to do is check your soil. Well, you can put your finger in. If it's cold and damp feeling, then this soil has enough moisture. If it is if you see pools of water, there is way too much water. You need holes at the bottom of your pot. There's a hole so that the water drains out. You do not want to wait till your soil is hot and dry to water again, because you will stress your plant out. So you kind of want to, until you get used to being able to tell when a plant needs to be watered, you can feel your soil, put your finger in the soil, see if it is slightly moist and cold, damp, and if it starts to turn and get a little bit dry, now you want to water it again. The amount of water varies on the size of the plant. Something like this, I would water about a cup of water. Usually you want to just kind of wet the whole soil, all of the soil, so all of it is wet and the water seeps down through. Hold on, Jason. Here's my helper. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned how to transplant a hyssop from a small piece of hyssop. And leave a comment down below. Let me know if you were successful. Thanks.